Welcome to the show, Rebels with a Purpose. And I'm your talk show host, Terrence Perry. And today I will be introducing an exciting guest today. But before I do want to say way to go, LeBrons and the Cavaliers for a Game 7 win. It was special. And also want to introduce the producer, Amnon Nissan.
Hello,
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm great.
Hot enough for you?
Oh, it's hot out there today, but that's a good thing.
That it is.
We have a special guest today that I'll be introducing real soon. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and get started because I have a barrage of questions that's going to be asked of her today, and I know the phone is going to be ringing. So I do ask that you call in on 919-518-9773. And today we have Acquilla Faye. She's our transformation expert, and she's going to explain to you what a transformation expert does. So call in if you have questions or concerns or opinions. Sit back, hold on tight, and listen up. Acquilla Faye, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me on the show and calling me an exciting guest. And yes, I am a transformation expert, which comes down to the combination of a coach and a consultant. So a coach asks the right questions and a consultant has the right answers. And I've been blessed to be able to do both for people in a variety of ways. So my background is in education. I've been an educator for over a decade. And I've worked in various populations within the U.S. and within Mexico and Africa. So I've seen from the poor of the poor to very elite, wealthy children, along with their families, and work with them. So I have that experience in the educational realm. And then I've been blessed to help a variety of men and women as young as 18 and as old as 73 to come through with breakthroughs. I love to help people get rid of blocks so they can have a fulfilling life. So it's not about me as much as it is about the people who I work with and what they're trying to achieve. So whether that's family balance, whether that's more success in your business, it might just be the ability to have fun, laugh, and smile because you forgot how to enjoy life. There's things that happen in your lives that block you, and they start to reflect in your business, they start to reflect in your family, they reflect in your private thoughts, and you sit there and you're like, oh, I don't really know how to get rid of this. That's where I come in. And I'm able to work with you, and I'm able to help you and guide you so that you can change your own life.
All right. That does tell us what a transformation expert does. So, and that was a lot of the questions that I've had all week. People on Facebook was hitting me up and LinkedIn inquiring about what a transformation expert does. But I'm gonna back up just a bit. I do want to know about some of the travels that you've had in different countries. Can you share a little bit more about that with us?
One, I've been in the United States, and I went to the not super far west. As far west as I've been is Illinois. And then as northern as I've been is New York. And as southern as I've been is Palm Beach in Florida, along with like Texas. And so that's just some of the things here. And that was just fun for conferences or meeting friends or just to see terrain. My son and I, who I always keep with me, he's awesome, my 7-year-old. We took a road trip last summer and we went from here and drove all the way to Ohio. And I made sure that we kind of took the long route so we could go through different states and just kind of stop just so he could say, yeah, mommy, I've been there, you know, because he learned what a vacation was. And I love keeping my word and made a promise that once he could tell me a vacation means you pack your bags and you leave the city we live in, we would do it. And he actually worded it just like that. I was like, we're going on vacation to the park. He said, no, mommy, that's playtime. We have to pack bags and leave the city. I said, hot dang, we got to go. Prior to that, I went to West Africa. I went to Ghana, Benin, and Togo for African diaspora trip and education, where I was able to work with some youth in the education realm in Ghana, and then to explore different educational institutions, the embassy, and just the general culture of those 3 areas. It was very, very enlightening. It was very spirit-filled. It was a transformational trip in itself just one, being on the land, two, going to the villages and seeing the wealthy and then seeing the impoverished. But learning how their education system worked was very impactful for me because they start educating children at the age of 3, whereas we wait till they're 5 or 6. And developmentally, between 0 and 5 are the most critical years. So we kind of start the boat late over here. And they're like, nah, let's get it in the prime. They can walk, they can talk, they can go to the bathroom, let's go. They need to get an education. Same thing in Mexico, even with seeing the bilingual programs. And there I was able to go to Dr. Arroyo, Saltillo. Most of my work was in Monterrey, and I worked at Monterrey de Santa Catalina, which was a private institution for elite students whose parents made $1 million or more. So these were the type of kids that you don't just see on the street because people may kidnap them, and that's a reality for them. And so I got to learn about the issues that they have being elite and having nannies and butlers and parents who are always working. And I got to teach bilingual Algebra 1. So and before that, I went to Italy and Greece for an art explosion trip, and that was just beautiful. And we got to stop in France for a little bit.
Hey, that's awesome.
Thanks.
That's awesome to be able to take trips and go, and go all over the world like that, and just really have that connection outside of the United States is awesome. Let me ask you this: is that a part of the Our Efforts United?
Our Efforts United is a community organization that I founded in 2012. And we started off with just educating youth. The reason that it came about was because of a lot of things I saw in the world. And also because of the fact of when I taught in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Durham, North Carolina, seeing how a lot of brown children were not exposed to some of the things that non-brown children were. It wasn't so much as lack of parental care or structure as much as it was an economic strain. Parents were focused on taking care of the family, and in the process, a lot of children kind of got left by the wayside, or they lost hope in themselves. A lot of families wanted support and wanted things, and so Our Efforts United started in order to help in that gap, fill in the gap of education with tutoring and remediation, and also creating activities where they could do career exploration, learn about healthy living, and just rebuilding the village. That's one of the big messages that is big with Our Efforts United, and with what I do personally as a mantra, is rebuilding the village, because it takes a village truly to raise one person. It takes all of us. You know, we have 2 hands and 10 fingers. If it didn't require so much effort, we would just have nubs like this and we can make it happen, but that's a fight, and that's what we're doing now. So I'm like, we got to stop the fight and start to just come together and rebuild that structure for our children. So we're based on partnering with community organizations, we partner with other individuals, we partner with businesses in order to, if you can kind of take your mind here, event planning for the community. So where there's a need, we pop up, boom, and we make it happen. We've serviced over 1,500 children since 2012 with backpack drives, parent fairs, tutoring, financial savings nights, and a plethora of other activities. So, does that answer? That?
It does. You are amazing, and what you're doing is amazing in the community. It's amazing in the educational system, and I think it's gonna challenge. It's going to challenge North Carolina. It's going to challenge America to make those changes and to expand. You know, as you've traveled and have seen different educational systems and how early they start in getting the kids ready, I think that's something that the United States is going to have to. They're going to have to jump on board with that also. You may be the person that need to bring that to their attention.
That'd be awesome. And it takes a lot of us, though. It's not just me. It's the community. If I didn't have people working with me, people who I believed in as much as they believe in me and who believed in our children and their families, because they're together. You can't have a child without the family. You can't have the family without the children. If we all didn't come together, it wouldn't work. And that's why it is called Our Efforts United and not My Efforts United or not Acquilla Faye United. Now, I have Acquilla Faye Enterprises, where I personally, God allows me to use my gift to help people. Like T.D. Jakes said, you have to recognize that you have a gift and not that you always are the gift. You as a person is different from your gift. And so it's a blessing to give my gift out and to be able to share it with other people.
All right. Let me just say again, anybody that want to call into the show, you can call in at 919-518-9773. We have the transformation expert here today, Acquilla Faye, and we do want you to call in and ask her any question or any comment that you may want to make. Again, we have Acquilla Faye, the transformation expert. You asked for her, she's here. She can answer those questions. Acquilla, also now you have a book out now, and you have a new book that's coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about those two projects?
Yeah, sure. In 2011, I published my first, well, I've published things prior to, but as far as my first published complete work in a book format, I published this beautiful book right here. Boom. The Men We Choose, which is available on Amazon as an ebook. And it describes 27 different personalities. It's like a garden. So it sows the seed for opening your mind to recognize that men have feelings too, men have different personalities. And as a woman or someone who loves to date men, you have to recognize that the same way you don't want people to change and modify you, but just make a decision, you have to do the same thing when interacting with these men. Is recognize, a businessman and a street man are not the same man, and you can't try to make one into the other. Someone who's shy, that's who they are. And either you accept it or you just let it go. Accept that you like it and be with it, accept that you don't like it and leave it alone. And it actually starts off, the first poem, it says, do we ever sit and think about the men we really choose, or do we move in blindly, grateful, just to have a man? Because there's so many barriers that block our mind to comprehend the power that we hold deep within our hands. Too much to let any man simply plunder our bounty. And it expands into the fact it's our choice. And it's not just for women to make the choice, but for men too. Sometimes we think we're being one way when we're actually being another way, or we don't understand how our actions are perceived. And I loved it because I've had people who are married, who are single, senior citizens, and teenagers all read it with the same feedback, male and female. The barbershop loved it. It's a great conversation starter. It's a great reflection piece. It has a built-in journal so that you can jot down ideas and thoughts that you have at the same time. And that's what The Men We Choose is about. My new project now in 2016, I've written 5 books this year. One of the first ones will come out at the end of July, and I'll also have an audio book. And it's called Letters of Devotion, Prayers Through Meditation. And so as I've evolved, so has my expression, which is a blessing. And one of them, if I may share with you all, it says a devotional for strength. And I'm just going to read a part of it because it's kind of lengthy. It says, to the one true source of all, I come to you in a state that I deemed weak. Yet in having a relationship with you, I know that I am strong. I am strong because you are the provider of my abilities. I open myself to receive the understanding from my situation that will catapult me into the direction of my true destiny. I receive that the realities of right now and what I recognize are preparing me for where you have me going, and that I am healed, I am empowered, and I'm enlightened. And then it continues to go on. And so that book is a compilation of different prayers or devotionals, meditations, treatments, consecrations that are broken down into parts that you can read each day in order to motivate yourself in different areas of your life, be it strength, gratitude, a morning prayer, the evening, sadness. It's just helping you to empower yourself by recognizing that connection that you have to God, Allah, Dios, whatever language you speak. It comes down to a connection to the Creator. And so this book is a tool to assist in that journey.
I appreciate that, and I did like that. I did like the poem, and I wanted to ask you, how does that relate to you as a transformation expert also? Because it sounds like it kind of ties into who you are and what you do. So can you expand on that a little bit as regarding that particular poem and yourself as a transformation expert?
I'm going to say it like this. In life, everything that you go through trains you and prepares you for where you're going. Oprah Winfrey said that there is no such thing as a wrong path, because every path will redirect you to the path you're supposed to be on. And once you recognize that, you start to understand that the journey to your destiny is more beautiful than reaching your destiny, because you never truly reach it. You live in it, you expand in it, and once you think you reach one plateau, there's something else for you to get to. And it's a beautiful thing, because you're like, I reached it. I finally got the house. I got the kids. I got the bank account. Then you realize, oh, no, I need to give back. Now I'm on the board of this nonprofit. Oh, no, now I need to go speak. Oh, no, I lost everything. Oh, I'm back up. And it's a journey. And as you go through that journey, it develops your character. You know, if you really want to see a man's character, give him a bunch of money and see how he acts. Or take a rich man and take all his money away and see how he acts. And that's what defines your core. And so me as an expert in transformation, I'm all about the core, because once you get your core strong, you get your core right, it doesn't matter your circumstances, you see beyond them, you see past them, and you understand the lessons that you learned in them. And sometimes you have to take it back and you realize why you went through what you went through. For me, before the age of 5, I had already seen death of my favorite person on the first day of kindergarten. I had been molested or violated prior to that experience, and I hadn't even entered kindergarten yet. And then it kept happening over and over. But at the same time, I was still loving. I was still a good child. I still had good grades, still made friends. And unlike some of my friends, it didn't impact me the same way. And as I got older, I realized that it was because I'm supposed to share that story. There's a lot of people who go through those experiences and they're so scared, they're so ashamed, they feel this filthiness, this dirt, that they can't express it. They don't realize how to get past it. And then those also strengthen me for other situations with layoffs and duffel bag dragging, to where people feel shame in these situations because it's like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And I'm here to say it's not what you did wrong, it's just part of your journey. And that journey is not just for you. And it may not be for the world. For me, I have an international reach. For somebody else, it might just be your household and helping your children to get through something they're going through at school, or to support that relative who now has Alzheimer's, who is a different person or had a stroke, or to build up your community and help other people realize that you can reach past yourself to see them. In Buddhism, that's one of the ultimate things of achievement, is being able to see past your own situations to still be loving and compassionate for somebody else, Bodhisattva. And that's something that a lot of people reach for. So that's how my journey helped. Being a single parent, I never thought I would be. I love it though, and it's all a balancing that. And so I help people understand it. How do you balance when you don't ever have time to yourself? Literally, you can't go to the bathroom without hearing a knock on the door for somebody else to go to the bathroom, because every time you got to do something, magically they got to do the same thing. How do you balance that? You know, like, what is it that you do? And so my journey's helped me to realize how you balance that, how you see past things, how you develop faith that's like knowledge, to where you believe in what you don't see. Not because you planned it out, but because you just know it's going to work out. And so that's how that worked. And it also helped in my creative arts, with me using poetry, using song, dance, modeling, all these things. And there was a song, and I'll just tell you all a little bit of it.
Hold that thought. Do we have a call?
Awesome.
Can we take a couple calls?
Yeah, of course. Hi.
I'm sorry, this is Shirley. I'm having some video problems, so I thought I would get on the phone and just listen. I do not have a question at this moment. I just wanted to listen.
Well, thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome. I missed a lot of it, but I'll be able to hear it when it's rebroadcasted.
All right, Shirley, we do have Acquilla Faye. She's a transformation expert with us today, and she have shared in detail, and she's been very insightful in letting us know what a transformation expert does, what she does as a transformation expert, and she's also shared her journey, how she became a transformation expert as well. Just chime in and listen a little bit, and if you do have any questions or comments, feel free to chime in.
Okay, from the bits that I've heard, she sounds like an exceptional young lady.
Thank you so much.
And I would love to know more. I heard something about being molested, but I think that was all I could kind of get out of it. So I'm just going to listen in and see if I can catch up as much as I can.
Okay, we have another call on the line, so we're going to take the next caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, my name is Dawn, and I was calling. I just wanted to say thank you for what you all are doing. It is definitely a great support to our community, and in order for us to get the ball rolling, this is something that is great for us. And Acquilla, we thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Mom.
She's again, she's shared a lot of insight today in just this small amount of time, which has been most helpful. And I think for a lot of people, they can relate to what she's saying. They may not have done it, but at least she brought attention to a lot of different things, and she's been able to share how a transformation takes place. But I'm gonna also let her tell you how you can get in contact with her through social media and any other means of contacting her. Acquilla, if you don't mind sharing.
I don't. May I back up for a minute?
Sure.
Is that cool? All right, so I did want y'all to hear just like a couple of those little
Okay.
lyrics, though, before I tell you this really, really exciting. This is like a great opportunity. You're going to love it. When I said the poetry, one of the songs that came to me recently, and it's been recorded, it's been out, I have an album out. It said, in life there are so many things that happen that you can't explain and that your mind would never comprehend. You'd go through, but you know what? It's all a part of the journey to be free. And so that's
I love it.
really what it's about, being free, right? And we love free stuff. So if you email me at Acquilla Faye at AquillaFaye.com, and it's a lot of letters, ACQUILLAFAYE at AquillaFaye.com, you may get a free consultation with me, which is normally $77 to $125. But for you, I'm going to give away one free consultation to the first email that I get. So you want to make sure you send that to me. And for everyone else who emails me, you'll get a coupon for $55 off a consultation right now until the end of the month, where you can start getting coaching with me one-on-one, just me and you, womany man, womany woman, just person to person, heart to heart, for $25 a session. And these sessions normally go for $77. You can also get motivation from me and from a group of people who love being inspired. On Facebook, we have a wonderful motivation group called EMT, because it is an emergency, right? To get motivated, you gotta stay motivated and pumped, especially in this world. EMT, Empowering Moments Together. And you go on, I'll approve you to join, and you'll have more opportunities and access to the coaching that I just told you about for $25 a week. If you can't email me, just inbox and say, hey, I heard the show. I want to get on. I want to talk to you. I want to have a conversation, because I definitely want to have a conversation with you. And these $25 sessions will not last forever. It's just for the month of June. You book now, and that's how we do it. And I would love to connect with you and talk with you. And you can also go to my fan page, facebook.com/path to you. And all of that is spelled out, because, again, it's about you. It really is. And I love all of you. And that's why I do what I do.
Again, can you give us your contact information again?
Yes.
You're on LinkedIn. I know you're on Facebook and other social medias. Just tell us one more time how to get in contact with you.
My handles are always Acquilla Faye.
Okay.
ACQUILLAFAYE. That's my Gmail. That's my business account, Acquilla Faye at Acquilla Faye. If that's too much for you, AquillaFaye@gmail.com. Facebook /Acquilla Faye. Instagram, Acquilla Faye. Twitter, Acquilla Faye. It's Acquilla Faye. Or Facebook /Path to You. And the motivational group is EMT, Empowering Moments Together. And really, Facebook is the best way, or my email. And I'm excited to hear from you. So definitely reach out. Tell a friend, share a friend. And you can find videos and all types of things. Just a lot of goodies, a whole lot of goodies, just for you.
Acquilla,
I
I
have
knew
a
inviting you here
question.
today was going to be great. You were
Thank
great.
you.
It was exciting, amazing. I think we got a lot of information today about what a transformation expert does. I think it was most enlightening, and I want to know if we can have you back again soon, because there are more questions that we do want to ask. We're out of time now, but I can think of 10 or 15 more questions that I would want to ask. I know you got a lot of interests, hobbies, and different things that you are involved in. But also, just before you leave, can you give us a little bit more song? You have a beautiful voice.
A little bit more
A
song.
little bit more song.
Let me think about it. Yeah. I want to. You all see this? Y'all see these bands, these rubber bands? I love colors. I just want you to know, once you connect with me, this can be yours. And it says, I know love heals. That is what I live by. I know love heals. And I'm here to help you know that and rebuilding the village, especially for all of you. So connect with me, too, if you want to get one of these, and we'll talk about them. You can get one at an event for free, or they're only $2. A song.
Just a piece of a song, just to hear that voice.
All right, I'm gonna let you all hear. This song carried me through a lot of times, just a lot of times. It's been a lot of situations in life. And sometimes we give up hope, right? But you have to know that it's there and you're always restored as long as you have a divine connection. So you can remember these lyrics. Never would have made it. Never would have made it without you. I would have lost it all. But now I see how you were there for me, and I am stronger, wiser, better, much better. When I look back on what you brought me through, now I know you're the one I held on to. And I never would have made it. No, never would have made it without you. I say thank you, God, 'cause now I see how the Creator cares for me and you.
All right. That's awesome. Okay,
you.
listen, I want to thank you for coming today and joining us and just taking this time out of your schedule to share with us. I look forward to having you back.
I'll be back.
Hopefully before the summer's out, you'll come back and join us again. So again, I read your book, your first book, and I'm still reading. I think that book is awesome. It talks about the different types of men. I read it in detail, and it hits us on the head over and over and over again. So I definitely say, male or female, to get a copy of the book. Is the book on Amazon?
Thank you. It is on Amazon, and if you want a paperback copy, I only have 87 copies left. So you definitely have to make personal contact with me. Again, email me ACQUILLAFAYE@Aquillafay.com, or inbox me Facebook.com/path to you, PATHTOYOU, or on the EMT group. And we can go ahead and make that happen if you would like to get a paperback copy of the book as opposed to an ebook. Paperback is only available through me, exclusive. There's only a limited quantity, and they will not be printed again. 87 copies left. But the ebook is available on Amazon and Smashwords.com.
All right. And you have her social media contact. And also, again, I want you to call into the show at 919-518-9773. We got our next guest will be coming on in just a minute. That'll be Tiffaney Barrett.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. And Tiffaney Barrett will be, she'll be in just a second. And we're going to get started with the second interview. Tiffaney, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine. What about yourself?
I'm great. We're glad to have you here today as well.
Okay.
We've just had Acquilla Faye, and I'm gonna have to dive right on in.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give you a minute.
No
I'll give
problem.
you a minute to catch your breath.
No problem. I'm fine.
But again, we're glad to have you. I want to first of all say we do have Tiffaney Barrett here. Just got married.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On the marriage. Listen, can you tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing, and about your books?
Okay. I have 3 books that are currently available. One is an ebook titled Residue from an Illusion. One is titled Play the Cards You Were Dealt. That is available on Amazon. Then I have one available titled Prison Staring You in the Face, which is available Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And I also do inspirational videos via Facebook. And you can follow me on several different social media sites. And my website is TiffanyBarrett.com, and that's spelled TiffanyBarrett.com.
All right. You have so much going on. I don't know where to start, but since I do have I do have questions to ask. So,
Okay.
But you got several different books, and I want to kind of ask you about each book.
Okay.
Now, I only read one, and that was the that was Play the Cards That You Were Dealt.
Okay.
That book was intense. It was, but I thought it was great, and I want to know if you can start there to share a
Okay.
little bit about that book, and then the other books as well. If you just share a little bit of each book with us, and I'm gonna definitely ask you about those videos
Okay.
too.
Play the Cards You Were Dealt is an autobiography, and it's basically just to encourage people to let you know, regardless of what cards that you have obtained throughout life, just take those life experiences and move forward. Things come to make you stronger. They don't come to make you down. So regardless of what you've done or what you've been through, use those experiences to get to your next level in life, because no one knows what the future holds.
You exactly. Now let me ask you this too, because there was a question. But it's not it wasn't a question, but I'm gonna make it a question.
Okay.
I saw where you said that the hurricanes of life toss you around, but did not let that dictate to you the outcome of who God called you to be.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, when I refer to the hurricanes of life, I'm basically talking about the decisions that you chose, because a lot of times we want to play the blame game, but you have to step back, you have to assess your life, and you have to blame yourself, because you determine where you are in life. And based on a lot of choices that we've made, that you've made, I've made, it's because of things that I've done. Not because my mother, father, sister, or brother did it to me, but because of choices that I decided to make. So therefore, a lot of times when we decide to go left and you know that you should go right, so then you end up in a hurricane, which it doesn't always feel good. But you have to determine, you have to understand, okay, I'm in the storm. It has tossed me to and from. So how do I rebound from that? How do I come back from that? So you just have to encourage your own self. You have to build yourself up. You have to network with people. You have to get involved with people that are doing things in life. You have to get involved with people that are trying to get to the next level in life. You have to get around spiritual people. Get around someone that can help you get to where you're trying to get to. Talk to someone that's already done what you're trying to accomplish.
All right. You also shared that your favorite quote was that Jesus is the light, the way, the truth. Mm-hmm. That's your favorite. Why is that your favorite quote?
Well, it's one of my favorites because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and besides him, there is no other way. I don't care what people tell you, but I'm telling you based on experiences. When I was in my hurricanes and storms, and I prayed and I began to seek the face of God, not just because someone told me to, but the strength that he gave me to run on when I felt like giving up, when I tried to commit suicide, when I was in the abusive relationship. I turned to Jesus and I began to pray and say, Lord, help me, guide and lead my every step, guide and lead my every decision. Because a lot of times we will listen to what other people have to say, but we don't do our due diligence. So you have to get involved for yourself.
That's awesome. Now, I mean, you're just an awesome and amazing person.
Thank you.
With the books and just the information that you're sharing right now, it's intense. I mean, I've read the book, so I know it's intense, and I know when you're speaking about the hurricanes of life and the and putting Jesus first and foremost. is because there has been some struggle, there has been some challenges, and you've made that your foundation. Now you also said that you have, and I've seen those quotes on your Facebook page, those videos. Matter of fact, I watch those videos daily. So can you share with the public why you do those videos? And before you do, let me just have anybody that want to call in. The number to call in on is 919-518-9773. We have Tiffaney Barrett, and you just got married a week or two ago. So your name is Tiffaney Barrett McCoy.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you're the second McCoy that's here today, and but it's great. So can you just share a little bit with us about those videos?
I do those inspirational videos based on as the Lord gives them to me, because a lot of times we wake up in the mornings and we feel like giving up, and God just gives me words daily or videos to share with the world, to encourage you, to let you know that God has not forgotten about you. So I only do videos as God gives them to me. Sometimes I may skip 3 or 4 days. That's the reason why, because he didn't instruct me to do a video for that day, but I'll give you an encouraging word. And again, just want to let you know that God has not forgotten about you, regardless of what you've been through or what you're going through. It is not the end.
All right. And now when I catch those videos, I mean, they are inspiring. Every time that I've listened to one, I mean, it has inspired me. So I know they're coming straight from God into you, and and you and sharing those. Also, I seen a video that you and your husband Jeff did, and it's called "Respect the Breeding Grounds for Attraction." And when I saw the video yesterday, respect the breeding grounds for attraction. Can you share a little bit about that video with us?
Yes,
right
respect
now?
is the breeding ground of attraction. Basically, what you respect is what you're going to attract. So that's basically how it goes. If you don't have a tolerance for things, then you're not going to attract those things. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. But when they begin to come, you have to shut it down, because you control your inner circle. So people can only do to you what you allow, and what you don't allow, they can't do.
All right, I thought the video was awesome. I saw you all doing the video together, and I was like, oh man, that's right on time.
Okay.
Can you tell the public how to get in contact with you, how to get your books, how to contact you through any social media to get your book, or to find out when you're doing, I know you do workshops, speaking engagements. And,
You can email me at TB, T as in Tom, B as in boy, author, that's A as in apple, U, T as in Tom, H, AUTHOR, is one at gmail.com. That's my email address. Or you can follow me on Facebook, and I constantly post things to keep the social media informed of what's going on daily. And the books are available again on Amazon. You can go to Amazon.com, or you can also find one of the books, which is Prison Staring You in the Face, on Barnes and Noble's website.
Can I stop you right there?
Yes, you can.
Tell us a little bit about that book. I've been meaning to get it and read it. I started reading, Play the Cards That You Were Dealt.
Okay.
But I've been wanting to read that book for a minute now. I thought you were gonna bring me a copy, but I don't have it. But share a little bit. Share a little bit of that. Because,
Prison Staring You in the Face is partially an autobiography as well, and it's just basically telling you about what I experienced a short time in my life, which could have been detrimental if I would have let it consume me. But I didn't let it consume me. I got involved with the wrong individual. After I was involved with the individual, I knew that this was not the person that God had for me. But I was faced with multiple criminal charges, which he had lied and had charges brought up against me, about 6 charges in the state of New York. But to make a long story short, God turned that situation around, and all of the charges were dismissed. And so that's all I'm going to tell you about that book, but you do need to get it to find out what all the book entails, because it's very interesting. And again, the outcome was all the charges were dismissed.
Okay, so that's I didn't know it was a personal book about
Yes.
you per se, but I mean,
Yes.
and that's good to know. That's good to know also.
Yes.
Do you have any events that's coming up? Any speaking or any workshops that's coming up over the summer?
Not at this current moment, but I'm preparing to do a workshop teaching people how to do self-publishing, and I will post those dates via social media. And you can, like I said, you can follow me on Facebook. That's Tiffaney Barrett, and that Tiffaney is spelled Tiffaney Barrett. And I have two Facebook pages. You can send me a friend request on Tiffaney Barrett, second page, and I will accept it. And you can follow me, like I said, to check those dates out.
All right. Tiffany, first of all, I want to say I appreciate having you here. I was looking forward to this conversation with you today. I've been interested in your books, and I want to say to the public also, just from reading Play the Cards That You Were Dealt, that book, it resonated with me. It was very detailed and it was very intense. It's a good book. It's a great book. Matter of fact, like I said, when I read it, I couldn't put it down. I just read it straight through. So I'm sure your other books are just as intense. Because, and when I say intense, I mean those books are, you just turn one page after another and you want to read the whole thing right then. I know that's the effect that it had on me. So I
Okay.
think you're an amazing writer.
Well, I thank you.
Your books are going to do well. You're going to do well.
Thank you.
Do you have any other book that's coming out anytime soon?
I
that
do
you're
have
working
a book that will be coming out. It's a fictional book, but it's inspirationally driven, and that's titled God's Aware. And I don't have the date yet, but it will be available in the near future.
on? Well, you heard it here first, so I appreciate you letting us know that book will be available, so we can look for that as well. Now,
Okay.
is there anything, any message that you want to share with the public right now? If they have any questions, if they want to call in have anybody called in? We don't have, okay, nobody's on the line?
I'm on the line. Can you hear me?
Okay, sure. Any comments?
I want to say congratulations to Mrs. McCoy.
Thank you.
And I would also like to ask her, I am a mentor for some of our challenged youth. And in listening to you talk about blame, I would like to know how we can get our youth to be more accountable. Too many of our kids are so quick to blame others for their faults. So I would like to know, as a community, how can we get these kids to be more accountable so that they can, be more productive in society?
I would say basically you just have to, every situation is different. You just have to, whatever situation it pertains to, dealing with each individual child, you just have to basically bring that situation to the forefront. Whatever the situation is when it occurs, whether it's stealing, whatever it is, you have to say, look, you have to take responsibility for this. And if you don't, X, Y, and Z will happen. It can happen, and kind of like use an example or bring someone in that can relate to that situation that you're dealing with, that they're dealing with at that time. I think a lot of times that helps when people have a reality check to see, okay, they did what I did and this was the outcome. So if I don't stop, then this is where I could end up in life.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
welcome.
you for that.
And there's a comment from Thumb online. It says, most young people don't believe anything until it hits home.
That's
we
right.
need to continuously expose them.
Yes.
So we need to continuously expose them. So Tiffany, what would you say to that? Just in terms of, I think youth. They're gonna have to bump their head. Just like they're not gonna always listen. The name of this show is Rebel with a Purpose, but we also know that a lot of time kids and youth are rebellious,
Yes.
and that's when we take the rebelness in a negative connotation, because there is that rebellion in the rebel. But sometimes once you go through that rebellious stage let's say as a teenager, if you get beyond that, you will learn one thing. You learn how to, I'm gonna say you learn how to fight for for a cause. You learn how to fight for what you believe in. You learn how to stand for who you are and why you are that person, because it's so easy in this society to buy into what somebody else is doing or what somebody else is wearing. Or, you know, do we have a...
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, caller, before you start talking, turn down the volume on your computer.
Caller, can you cut the volume down on your computer?
Or walk away from the computer.
I'm sorry. Let me try to. Can you hear it now?
I can hear you. Okay. All right. So go ahead. You got a question, concern?
Oh yeah, this is Gary. I was just calling. First of all, trying to say congratulations on the show that you're doing. But you know, most people, they tend to forget that we were once young. You know, we have to find things to give these kids to have something to first educate and give them something to do other than the streets.
All right. That is true. But can you name a few things that we can do, some practical things that we can do with the youth to kind of get them involved in just positive activities outside? Because a lot of times when we don't provide these things for kids, we do see that they gravitate to the gang life, the street life, just hanging out. So what can we as adults, the adult population, do to bring them back to the fold, as in bring back the village? Because if we don't find something to do with the youth, then they are going to take to the streets.
Right. We've got to start mentoring programs. We've just got to come together, you know, as a community. You know, that's where the problem is. A lot of people tend to say, you know, it's not my child, you know, I don't care. But, you know, the Bible teaches us it takes a whole community, a village to raise a child.
Right.
And we've got to refer back to that. You know, these kids they're joining these gangs because they're alone and they're looking for love. You know, and unfortunately they're finding it there. But if we give them educational programs to show them that, you know, they have something inside of them, you know, they will catch on, you know. We just got to come together, you know, and put our heads together. That's what can we offer them instead of saying, you know, it's not my child, I'm going to turn my head.
And that's true. And I do want to say, to the community that we need to come together and start to making these things happen. But also in regards to the church, what is the church doing, or the churches that you're involved in doing to get the youth involved in positive things?
Well, I'm just going to speak in general, you know, and I'm just going to be honest, you know, church people are not, in this time, people need to come together. It's not about being in the four walls. You need to get out into the highways and the byways. You know, people want to stay in the four walls and prophesy to one another, but they're not doing ministry work. And yes, kids are falling by the wayside. They're dying. They're throwing in the towel because basically no one cares. It's all about what can I get in the house of God. But they have to come out of the house of God and go into the streets. And like you said, mentor these kids, work with them, you know, get them together in groups, take them on trips and say, okay, let's do X, Y, and Z, and then reward people, you know, find people to sponsor the kids or do fundraisers to raise funds for the children, to help kids also that are less fortunate. And a lot of times that's why kids act out too, is because they're less fortunate. They're, you know, they're going through in their homes. You know, we just need to come together as one, and prayer changes things. And not only just praying, but action. You have to put those prayers into actions as well and do something.
Hey, I totally agree. And that's one of the things that I do as a community change agent. Myself and my sons have had mentor programs where we go into the community and we work with the youth. We get them involved in music. We get them involved in sports. We did a lot of basketball clinics. We did a lot of music clinics, and they gravitated to it. They gravitated to it because that's what they wanted. So, you know, you got to meet them where they are. And if that's what they are attracted to at that particular time, you know, I mean, it's only the creativity. So I say give it to them. And it don't have to be so structured to where you take the fun out of it. I mean, you know, just make it fun. They don't have to be the best at anything. Just let them do it. And if they really love it and if they have a passion for it, then they may become the best at it. They may not, but we have to provide that opportunity. We have to provide it in the community. We have to provide it in the schools, and we have to, you know, we also have to provide that in the homes. A lot of times the homes have let the kids down, have let the youth down, and they run to the schools, and then the schools let them down, and also the community has let them down. So I don't look to the youth and say, it's them, is their problem. I look at the adult and say, it's our problem. It's something that we have to fix, and if we didn't fix it, then we got to start now to fix it, because it's not going to go away. It's not going anywhere. It's going to get uglier, but it's not going away. So I challenge every adult, young adult or old adult. It really doesn't matter what age you are. It matters if you want to participate and you really want to see change in our youth. It's going to have to come from us. It comes from the community. We're still in the community, so we have to make it happen in the community. And if we don't, then we don't have anyone to blame. I'm not blaming the youth for the state that they're in today, because they didn't create themselves. They didn't spit themselves out.
That's right.
So just like when you point a finger, that thumb, it points back at you, because it's what we didn't do. We were from the 60s, the 70s, and maybe the 80s, but we had a charge. Did we do that? I'm gonna say no, because had we did what we're supposed to have done, the kids wouldn't be in the state that they're in today. And that's the real challenge. Being that we're still here, we still have to honor them. You know, there is wisdom in the elders. There are wisdom in being an adult. We have gone through. I'm not supposed to be here, and maybe some of the others are not supposed to be here, just because of the things that we've done, but God has spared us, and we are here. So, being that we are here, I say we are the change that we want to see in the world. So let's make it happen.
That's right.
Before we go off,
Shirley, since you're already online, why don't you just make your comments on the air instead of me having to read them?
Shirley?
Were you talking to, I'm sorry, were you speaking to me?
Yeah.
Instead of me reading your comments that you just typed in, why don't you just say them?
Okay. On one thing I was saying is that we need, which we all know, we need more parental involvement for our children.
Amen.
And going back to the church, we definitely need prayer. I mean, the kids don't know how to pray. The young parents aren't in church. They aren't praying. So we really need that. Ultimately, poverty and a low socioeconomic status is killing our communities. There are no jobs. There's no guidance from the community to where it should be. And until we do something about getting these kids and their families out of poverty, then we're spinning our wheels. So, and we can't just throw money at these problems either. We have to get out. We have to be hands-on. And we have to help these kids by providing mentors and a lot of guidance, because that's what they lack. And that's my comment.
Well, hey, your comment is well taken. I agree with you 100%, and I'm sure so does Tiffany also. But we only have a couple of minutes left, so I do want Tiffany to. We got another.
Well, I don't want to leave them out. Thump is saying we can't stop reaching out to our youth. We may not reach them all, but we must keep trying. One is better than none. And Gary is saying we have to build self-esteem.
Amen. We do.
Yes, we do.
Tiffany, I want you to have the last comment, and I also want you again to let people know how to get in contact with you, to know how to get to you in social media,
Okay.
and also to let them know what books you have on Amazon. Are they on Barnes and Nobles also?
They are. Prison Staring You in the Faces. But before I go into that, I will say in reference to the youth, one more thing. Another thing is parents have to stop enabling their children as well. When they're wrong, when they're not doing right, stop rewarding the kids because they will not learn. Okay, so back to my books. Prison Staring You in the Face is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. Play the Cards You Were Dealt is available on Amazon, and Residue from an Illusion is an ebook only, and you can find that on Amazon. You can download that. And the other books are available ebook as well. And my website is TiffanyBarrett.com. That's TiffanyBarrett @gmail.com. I'm sorry, TiffanyBarrett.com is my website for the books as well.
Tiffany, I want to say, listen, I appreciate you. Do we have another guest? I mean, another speaker? All right. So we're just about out of time. I do want to thank Tiffany for dropping in on us today and just sharing with us the books that she have available. Her insights has been amazing. I'm going to take those nuggets and take them to the community and share them, because that's what we need. That's what we need to do as a people, as a community, and that's what it comes down to. Us working together to help one another. Again, I hope you're able to come back.
I will.
Once your next book comes out, and just stay on the radar with us. Is there any other comment you want to make to the public? Any message you want to leave?
Just be encouraged. Whatever you're going through, don't give up, because it's not the end.
All right, and you've heard it on, this is Rebel with a Purpose. I'm your host, Terrence Perry, and we're going to be closing this afternoon. We're here every Tuesday at 2 o'clock from 2 to 3. If you want to be on the show, email me at tperry5000@gmail.com. Or you can just give me a call at 919-986-6046, and we can get you on the show. Do have a purpose, a mission, a passion for something. If you're involved in the community, if you're involved in politics, if you're involved in music, if you're involved in anything that you're involved in the community that bring about positive change, we want to know about it. We want you to share that with the community. So again, I appreciate you guys for listening in. Join us again next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, Rebel with a Purpose. You only have so many tomorrows, so live for today. Do what you got to do to make today happen. Thanks, and have a great week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, My Life, My Will with Gisela DiCarlo, The Tanya Love Show, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Triangle Be Well with Howard Jacobson, Lunch and Learn with Rabbi Yisrael Cutler, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, Current Affairs with Amnon Nissan. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.